Hey guys, T-Bull here. Today I want to talk to you about how we earn credits and experience points in World of Warships Legends. In the background here I have a Fubuki game, which ends up being like a 3300 base XP game, which is a pretty good score, so you'll just kind of see how a wide diversity of actions within the game will get you a good score at the end of it. Now the information that I'm going to go through, this is all on the Wargaming's Wiki page for World of Warships. Now keep in mind this was written for the PC version. But in the past, anything I've kind of researched on this website, trying to find out more information about our game, it tends to translate over pretty accurately. So the scale might be slightly different in some cases, but in general, I'm pretty sure of the accuracy of the information as it pertains to our game. So the first thing it notes is that rewards kind of go up as you rise up in tiers. So playing a higher tier ship, the same actions in the game will give you more base XP and credits than it would in a lower tier ship. Now, I do want to keep in mind we just covered the service costs recently, and I'll have that video pop up at the end as one of the suggested videos if you haven't watched it, because it's a pretty important topic that's closely related to this one, or it kind of intermingles a little bit. But just kind of the thing to keep in mind is Tier 6 and 7 battles, you're going to have kind of a big deduction from your base credits earned at the end just for running a higher tier ship. Now, a lot of the scores or the rewards are based on the damage that you do during the match. But the interesting thing that I didn't know was that the damage is rewarded as a percentage of the target ship's HP as opposed to just a raw base number of damage. So for instance, doing damage against a destroyer, the same amount of damage as against a destroyer compared to a battleship will give you more credits and experience for the damage against the destroyer because it's a larger percentage of that ship's base hit points. So keep that in mind. It kind of actually rewards you for kind of playing how I usually recommend, which is killing destroyers first, then cruisers, then battleships. So there's a little added incentive to just kind of take my advice, which I think works out in general anyways. And then kills do award a good boost for you. It says here the equivalent of 15% of the target's HP and damage. So that's a potential way to earn quite a bit of experience and credits as well. And then killing ships that are higher tier than you, or actually damage in general, any damage against a higher tier ship than you will scale upwards, and damage against a tier that's a ship that's lower tier than you will kind of scale downwards a little bit. So if you're bottom tier in a game, just kind of look at that as a way to boost your credits and experience to earn from that particular match. And then it says shooting down aircraft will give you a bit of reward. Now, that's probably way more important in the PC version where they have aircraft carriers implemented. Currently, we don't have it at the time of this video being made, at least. But you do get a little bit of a boost for shooting down planes. Now, I don't think a lot of players set about trying to shoot down planes, at least not right now. I'm trying to incorporate that more and more into my game. Just if I notice a plane's kind of circling in an area, if you position your ship kind of in the middle where it's circling. Now granted, if the ship's alive where that plane launched from, there's going to be a ship in the middle of that. But if you kill the ship and then you get where the plane's circling, you can actually shoot it down a lot easier. So it's not a major thing to think about, but like I said, I'm trying to incorporate that into my gameplay, and you might want to think about doing that as well. It's kind of helpful to eliminate your ability or your potential to be spotted by the enemy. And it says taking potential damage rewards you XP and credits. So potential damage, like if you're familiar with the Dreadnought medal that's awarded at the end of the game, that's awarded for taking, I think it's like 110% of your ship's base or HP of potential damage. So potential damage means shots, either any sort of projectile, including torpedoes, that come within a certain range of your ship. That's counted as potential damage, and so it's kind of rewarding you for armor angling in particular. This page says 500 meters is the range. That may or may not be accurate for our game. It might be scaled slightly differently. But just the main takeaway is the potential damage is being rewarded, so keep that in mind. And then another one I didn't know about was spotting and detection. I've actually claimed on another video that spotting didn't do anything for you just because there's no ribbons or anything that pop up, so that's kind of being a jerk and said I'd rather shoot targets than spot them, but it is actually rewarding you for doing so, so keep that in mind. Now detection is counting you for detecting a ship that has not been seen for at least a minute and a half, and then the harder the ship is to spot, the more that reward goes up. So like destroyers, then cruisers, then battleships, it's going to scale upwards just for spotting them and making them available for your team. And then, detecting them. And then spotting them, similar to World of Tanks for anyone that's coming over from that game, like a lot of you guys are. It works the same way there, where, so if a guy in your team shoots a target and hits them, that he or she wouldn't be able to see without you spotting that target for him. So in general, you're going to be closer range than them. That you're getting a percentage of that reward, the score reward basically, just for providing that information to them. And like World of Tanks, it is divided. If there's multiple people spotting, then it is divided between those players doing it. So yeah, I wish they should put a ribbon for that. I mean, maybe the numbers would be flying up on it, so that's why they don't do it. I don't know, but that would be helpful information just to incorporate into the game. And then capturing bases and defense points. Now you see here I'm capturing a couple bases in this game. I found that probably, I believe every time I've ever had a 3000 XP game, base defense and base capture factored into it fairly heavily. And thus you can see I was kind of dumb, just to comment on this game here. I was a little dumbfounded that guy avoided that. He got hit by one of them, and I thought he went behind that island, but he actually pulled in front of them, so I was just trying to figure out how he survived that, because I thought I had him dead to rights, but I was a little sad that my smoke was there, because I wanted to see his move. I was pretty impressed by that player, so good job. Getting back to the rewards here. And then it says achievements, so all those medals at the end, high caliber, Confederate, all those that pop up, those little circles that are next to your score at the end, those all give a significant boost too, so to your rewards from the game. And then it's multiplied by the winning team, obviously. I think I've had one game where I had the top score in the game as a losing team. I think I have that one saved. I might have to see if I got that and show that game to you guys, but that's very hard to do where, I don't know if I want to show it because it's another Gremiyashi game. You guys might be getting sick of that. That shit was just so damn good. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, the point is, if you're winning, obviously you get a nice boost from that. So, this information, I was researching how to get more credits, because I'm at the point in the game right now where the lowest tier ships I have that I'm upgrading are tier 5s, and they're all about to go to tier 6s, which I think are 9 million credits, and then 15 million credits for tier 7 ships, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a lot of moolah. And then that's not even factoring in the mods. You get 3 mods, which I think it's like almost 3 mil for tier 6, and then 4 mods for tier 7s, which ends up being about 6 million, not counting the ship upgrades that you unlock with XP. So I mean, once you get to this point of the game where all your ships are kind of high tiers, you need to start thinking about credits. So that's why I kind of went hunting for this information specifically. I thought it was very helpful. It just kind of reiterates that doing anything that helps your team is going to help your score, but you're getting rewarded for more than I assumed. So I thought the information was helpful to me. That's why I chose to present it to you guys. And if you've been paying attention to torpedo play, I did want to point this out. Like, there's two theories of laying torpedoes. You either lay them in one big giant field, kind of like one string of them all aimed at the same spot, or you can do where I've been doing most of my torpedo shots this game, where firing one where the indicator says they're going, then waiting a little bit to see if they react, and then adjusting accordingly. Now as the player skill continues to increase, you know, ships are very rarely going to be driving in a straight line all the time. If you get them where they're distracted by fighting someone else, then maybe you can get away with doing that, but especially if you're spotted as a destroyer, you're going to have to start adjusting more and more how you're laying down these torpedoes. So I thought that was something worth checking out. Maybe I should have pointed that out in the beginning of the video, but you know, I assume you guys were kind of paying somewhat close attention to the game anyways, while the information was going on. So I do hope you found the information helpful, and if you did, please hit the thumbs up if you liked the video. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I got a lot of World of Warships content coming out all the time for you guys. Questions, comments, leave them below. You know, I love to hear from you guys. And we'll see y'all later. Alright, peace.